Alright, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Fletch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you. And let's party! Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this. Even though you missed the live party, guys, that is the best part. So make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to theindianjesus.com for your very own official merch only at theindianjesus.com. All right. I am excited for this one. We got indie film in the building. Zippy's also here. What is good, gentlemen? Always glad to see you. I'm back to be with you guys. I missed you guys over the weekend. So I wanted to do something that kind of allowed me to talk about a bunch of different things. So I have a video here that Michael Knowles sat down with a couple protesters from an event that he was doing, and like not just like out on the street. He actually brought them in after the event and had a conversation with them. And I thought it was really cool. And let's just jump in, and we got a lot to talk about, guys. So as always, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
When a conservative speaks on a college campus, anything can happen. I've come to expect the histrionics of the excitable leftist students with purple hair. That's just how college kids are. It's frankly kind of charming. What still gives me some surprise, though, is that the most ardent disruption these days often comes from the supposed adults who should know better, the university administrators. Just days before I was scheduled to speak at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, left-wing administrators tried to shake down the students for a last-minute, unprecedented
Is this music free public domain?
security fee totaling well over $4,000. From me, little old me. At first I was honored. UW-Madison didn't charge any last-minute security fees when my friends Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh spoke there. Perhaps they were just more intimidated by my Sicilian physique. But then I learned that the fee was not to protect the students from me. Rather, it was to protect me from the liberal students, who ideologically are on the same side as the administrators who were trying to shake me down. Fortunately, the group that had invited me held its ground and even threatened to sue the school, which was legally bound by the First Amendment to abide by free speech.
They want to sue the school for letting somebody speak.
What was the result? Chaos? Mayhem? Did my producer survive the violent hordes? It all turned out great. Hundreds of people came in, they filled all the seats, and they were polite for almost the whole time.
I'm standing here now, a biological male wearing a dress with a pair of leggings. Do you sincerely believe that I should be subject to punitive justice on the basis of what I'm wearing? And if so, are you willing to turn yourself in for wearing women's panties in your gay college film?
I say...
What? I'm gonna have to look that up. What are we talking about?
Almost the whole time, because a couple students, one who called himself transgender and another who called herself non-binary, became a bit more pointed during the Q&A. I was happy to answer their questions. So happy, in fact, that we all decided to sit down and have a conversation after the event.
I Googled Michael Knowles panties. Let's try college. I don't know what they're talking about. Whoa. Okay. I guess, all right. I guess that's what they're talking about. Did not know. All right. Mikey boy. All right. Interesting. But yeah, so we are at crossing the picket line, obviously. And yeah, so that's the setup for this. I think it's going to be a really good platform for us to talk about a number of different things.
Demi? Ferris?
Me?
First of all, thank you for coming to the lecture, and then thank you for your questions, and then for sitting down. I take it you did not agree with me coming in. Did I persuade either of you?
Nope.
No.
No? Okay.
Not particularly, no.
The topic of the conversation was abortion.
Mm-hmm.
You asked about transgenderism.
I did.
I didn't persuade you on
Because, you know, even if we're talking about young children, I have to make it about me.
that.
No, not really.
When did you start to identify as a woman?
What makes you say that I identify as a woman? Because
The dress?
I actually didn't assert that.
I don't know.
Is it just pattern recognition? Is it? Do I just
Yeah,
look like
bro.
one of the transes?
You're wearing a dress. Was
Yeah.
the first hint.
Yeah.
He's drag.
Have you heard of a femboy? Do you know what that means?
A feminine boy?
Now I have, but I don't know what it means.
Okay. It's feminine men. They wear a lot of dresses. It's cool.
But
I'm not a femboy. I identify as a trans woman.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were correct.
But a femboy is different than a trans.
Yes, they are. They're quite different.
How?
What's the difference?
So a femboy still retains their male identity and pursues femininity, whereas a trans woman actually identifies as a woman.
What does that mean? No, if you
What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't get it. Well, like I said, if only there were 2 words to describe Michael Knowles, it would be reserved and competent. He just carries himself so well. Agreed. I think there's some talking points that aren't his strongest, but I genuinely agree. I mean, if you look at the Daily Wire, there's a lot of brash personalities, and he's not one of them. He definitely has some brash ideas, but I agree. I agree.
like if I pursue Sicilian identity, then I would.
Why is that funny? You can sit there straight-faced and talk about the difference between a trans man and a femboy, but when somebody says being Sicilian, like, oh my God.
Identify as Sicilian.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But then
Right?
if a femboy pursues feminine identity, he would identify as female.
Right.
He would identify as feminine, not necessarily female. I think you and everyone at the Daily.
Those are the same thing. If I'm seeking this identity, then identify as this. If I am seeking femininity, I mean, the gradations of this. This shows you the entire point of this is to be able to put yourself in a box because you're afraid of standing on your own personality. You don't have a personality, so you glob on to a group, and now that group, the femboys or the trans men or the LGBT community, is who you are. So what was the point of even asking that question to answer the first question? Seems like they just want to try and challenge and annoy with no real motive. Well, they are protesters. To be fair, that is what they are here to do. But you're right. Just pedantic. Clearly. I'm just whatever. Obviously, you're not some straight cis hetero whatever. But it's so important to you. Not what do you like what do you care about? What types of things do you enjoy doing? The relationships that you have in your life, the hobbies that you have. No, your gender. That's the only thing that matters.
Daily Wire would agree that feminine and female are not synonymous.
Well, men can be effeminate.
Yeah,
actually,
effeminate.
But that's different than feminine.
Feminine. How would you define feminine versus effeminate?
Feminine is good, and it's what women are when they act like women. And effeminate is bad, and it's what men are when they act like women.
Based.
So yeah, we could say a femboy is a.
I mean, that is of course tautological, but I don't hate it. As we said, effeminate and being female is different, just barely. Not just barely. Very, 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 very different. Very different. Effeminate is a way of behaving. Female is a biological state of being. So not just barely, entirely. The trouble is, it goes on to say, as they are trying to win arguments, everything is anything, and thus nothing matters. Yep, and this is part of the issue when you are dealing in dogmatic ideologies, where everything is what it is because it is what it is, and everybody has their own idea of it, and it's all based on something, but if everybody has their own version of it, then by Michael sitting there and just asking questions, genuinely not understanding, he's the asshole. I guess that's just how college teaches you to answer questions these days. Bingo. You got it.
A boy who is effeminate.
Yeah, let's back that up.
And it is bad, and it's what men are when they act like women.
So yeah, we could say a femboy is a boy who is effeminate. Well, then a trans woman actually doesn't retain the male identity and chooses to identify as a female.
Okay.
So then the only difference is what you call yourself. There is no meaningful difference from the outside between a femboy and a trans woman. It's just what you call yourself. That's the same exact thing, except that one calls himself a femboy and there's no meaningful difference there. What is it? Retaining the male identity? That doesn't have a meaning. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay, but then to loop back around to my first question, when did you start to identify as transgender?
Started to identify as transgender.
So you are transgender. You were just being a dick.
Internally, I've noticed the sort of mismatch between my identity and the body that I was given. And
See, again, right there. I would stop there and say, well, wait, what did you notice? What is that experience? Explain to me what that was, because I'm not aware of any way to understand a different gender's body. I've only ever been a man, been inside a woman, but I've never been a woman. So I would not know what it is like to feel as though I am a woman, because I've never been a woman. Right? Right? So he says femboy or trap is dude in a dress that acts effeminate. Trans is trying to get in women's spaces as a skinwalker. You ain't wrong, baby. You ain't wrong.
internally, I've noticed the sort of mismatch between my identity and the body that I was given and the roles that society has placed upon me. That mismatch was pretty clear from a very young age.
How?
I'm not going to pretend that I was a woman all along. You know, I was born with a female brain. But I'd say probably since around 4K, you know, like school.
4K?
Like 4-year-old kindergarten, like preschool.
Okay.
Who says 4K?
What do you think caused it? If you say you weren't, you know, it's not like you were born in the wrong body or something, then what do you think caused it?
I think it's quite
the social contagion, probably.
Simple, really. I think some people like ketchup and some people don't. You know, I wanted to live my life this way. I wanted to pursue these characteristics, these traits.
No, I'm
okay, fair. Absolutely fair. And as an American, you should have every right to do that. The question stands, would you still have done this if the trans ideology stuff wasn't all over the place? Maybe. Maybe. But I'm just asking. So he said, no, dear, you're assuming the mismatch because you've been taught gender is meaningless. Yep.
I'm not denying that you want or
that I want to do that,
but I'm just kind of asking why.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same reason why anybody identifies as the gender they were assigned at birth.
No, I identify as the gender I was observed at birth because that's reality. I like to adhere to reality as much as possible. That's why I do it.
Well, it just feels kind of natural.
When did
I know I'm pausing a lot. Oh yeah, again, I forgot some of you. I'm going to have to say this, especially on the replay. If you would like to watch this video without me, you are on the wrong channel. The link to this is in the description. But even for those of you who are here for the right reasons, I know I'm stopping a lot, but it's like every word. It feels kind of natural. This is the most unnatural thing that you could do.
The gender they were assigned at birth.
Well,
it just feels kind of natural.
When did you publicly start doing it?
I'd say I came out as trans to everyone except for my family members, because it wasn't safe in my household.
Where it wasn't safe.
It wasn't safe. Shout out to Nicholas Luchetti in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Wait, it was the Guantek had the other one because gender abolition is not what we hoped it was. Remember when we were talking about that? It was the gender binary abolitionists or something like that. I don't know, but I am all for it. Get rid of gender entirely and only operate on biological sex. Just delete the category of gender from the English language. Works for me.
Family members, because it wasn't safe in my household.
Where it wasn't safe.
Why wasn't it safe?
Yeah.
I don't want to get into the grotesque details, but I was in a pretty abusive household. My father was not very accepting, but my mother.
Do you think maybe that might have had anything to do?
Yup. No, of course not. No. People who grow up like this never, ever, ever pick up something. What connection?
My father was not very accepting, but my mother.
Do you think maybe that might have had anything to do with, you know, all of
this? The abuse and whatnot didn't really. I don't see any correlation with that in my gender identity. I could.
Based on what? Have you looked at that? Or do you not see it because you're not looking? I don't see the back of my monitor right now, but that's because I'm not looking. I could find it if I walk around the desk. Just because you don't see any correlation. That's a interesting way to phrase that.
Oh, the abuse and whatnot didn't really. I don't see any correlation with that in my gender identity. I could see the look on your face
because I've just heard
the talking point.
I've heard it's not just. I mean, I've just heard it from people who have detransitioned or,
Right. And I mean, no shade. Even, Blair White was just talking about how abuse from her father was heavily influenced how she looked at this stuff and how her life played out. But this is the type of thing that gets me frustrated when we're talking about dogma. That, like, in any other realm, you could, that's a reasonable question. Well, do you think that, there's a correlation between people who have traumatic childhoods and, let's just say, atypical adulthoods, and you just being able to just say, no evidence, no thought, no nothing. I don't, and if you have done that work, if you have done that mental, psychological, emotional work, then why are you not so happy to be up here screaming about it? Hey, this is a real thing. This is what I did. This is how I know it's real. I know if I was trans and I had that, I would be shouting from the rooftops. I know if I was Christian and I had proof, I'd be shouting from the rooftops. But I was like, well, it's just personal. I don't want to get into it. All right, well, then don't get fucking mad at me when I don't believe you. Zuby said, these people are so damn wishy-washy. I am the big black cracked kettle telling the pot that it's black. Nick said, yeah, seems like Gontek had a great idea on that. We have him to remind us on what he said. So yeah, I think it was it's not it. Yeah, Gontek. What was the phrase that you came up with? We were talking about gender abolition. I think it was when we were doing the atheist guy talking down the Christians about the trans stuff. But it was, I don't know. I think it was not gender abolition, but it was something very, very close. Odds are this person has a therapist, and wouldn't surprise me if that therapist never even brings up their lifestyle when growing up versus just feeling trans. Yeah, that's a good guess. That's a good guess. Neil said, not saying it affected this guy, but children being abused leads them to have psychological issues. But yeah, no, I know for a fact that's not why I completely. It's just so transparent. It's so like, who are you fooling? Who are you fooling? Hey, shout out to Kelly Green. Welcome to the party. You're only as gay as the man inside you. Good one. Welcome to the party, brother.
It's not just, I've just heard it from people who have detransitioned or, that sometimes that correlates.
Yeah, I don't like,
Just
trust
maybe.
me, I'm not proud to say that I grew up in an abusive household and I also happen to be trans. I don't want to fuel that statistic, but I'm also not going to be.
But again, why? Why is it a bad thing? If this is a real thing that can come from trauma, then why would you want to hide that? Not hide the like, I understand why you might want to hide the trauma itself, but hide the connection that this is a real thing. And it may seem drastic to you, but if you knew what I went through, then maybe it would seem a little bit more reasonable. None of it makes sense. They have an entire ideology and they can talk about it all the time. And it gets frustrating, again, because I'm sitting here trying to, just get a basis of our reality. What exactly is it that we're talking about? And whether it's the trans stuff or any other dogmatic stuff, it's not anything. It's just whatever you want it to be in the moment. Zippy says, protecting individuality to a point within reason. Liberty, protecting individual will. Why can't we just be free from chains of the normal box? Does everything have to be a damn grift? Yeah, I was just shout out to the front porch conservative. I was just watching his stream, and he was talking about trans stuff, and I was like, whatever happened to like just being weird? Like, you could just be a weird dude or a weird chick. Like, that's fine. You don't have to chop yourself up to fit into a box. And then force everybody else to believe that you are in a box that's decidedly normal when it's not. Just be weird. I think it was the gender binary abolition. I really don't remember, but either way, whatever we could stick with, I am good with it.
Household, and I also happen to be trans. I don't want to fuel that statistic, but I'm also not going to be dishonest about my upbringing.
Yeah.
No?
Now, you are not trans.
I am.
You're
They
just
are trans.
You're trans too?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not.
If that is a trans girl, I might be gay.
I am.
So what are you?
I'm non-binary.
Oh, all right.
So it's a chick. It's a chick. All right, it's a chick.
I don't mean to be different, but you're not saying you're a man.
I'm not saying I'm a man now.
And you would have at some point in your life said you're a woman.
I don't think I ever said I was a woman.
A little girl. I don't know.
Pedantic. Again, I don't think I ever said I was a woman. You know what the fuck he's asking. Are you here to have a conversation or not? Are you here to have a conversation or not? The first one was, did I ever say that I was a trans woman? You fucking look like one. Because you sure shit don't look like a man, and you sure shit don't look like a woman. And this other one, I said, no, I'm clearly he's asking if you ever had the identity of a female. Yes, I do have a dick. Got a dick. Her, no, that is a woman who wants attention. That is a woman who wants attention. I mean, this is a dude who wants attention, but also probably has a lot of other stuff going on. This is just a normal ass chick who wasn't interesting enough. So she just says non-binary. And now that's a thing for her. So he said it's like with the cripple. They have to change the words, which change the reasoning and the MO of the process. Liberal grift 101.
But you're not saying you're a man.
I'm not saying I'm a man now.
And you would have at some point in your life said you're a woman.
I don't think I ever said I was a woman.
A little girl. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
You did. Okay. But then when did you decide you're non-binary?
I didn't know what transgender or non-binary was until I was 14, 15.
Yeah, most of us didn't know what transgender non-binary was until you were 14, 15 either.
Most people had not heard of it until recently.
I mean, it existed, but I...
That's 2 for 1. We're not even half hour in. Shout out to Unwanted Foe. Welcome to the party. Said, how is she trans if she didn't transition from anything? Of course she did. How dare you? Unwanted Foe. We are not transphobic here, okay? That is not a woman. That is a non-binary person. That is a transition from saying I am a woman / girl to I am non-binary. That's okay. We need to respect the struggle. She used to say I'm a girl. Now she says I'm a they. She added an extra letter.
15.
Most people had not heard of it until recently.
I mean, it existed, but I hadn't heard of it.
I suppose we'll perhaps agree to disagree on that.
You don't think it existed until recently?
No, I think people have been confused about their sex, and I think they've had all sorts of...
But this ideology that you can just become a non-binary, that's a thing that you've done, yes, that is new.
Aberrant desires for all of history, but I don't think it's a real category, basically. So I don't mean it in any disrespectful way. I just don't think... I don't think it's possible to have a male body but be a female.
And obviously, we all agree with that with this argument. But I also don't mean any disrespect when I say I don't think it's possible for you to know or to have any reason to follow a religious faith. I'm obviously not good enough at doing this yet, but I have to continue to show you guys the parallels of their dogma and your dogma. It's just it's the exact same. It's two sides of the same coin. Shout out to Bon Zig. Welcome to the party. So I'm here for the Lunch Singers. Well, you are in the right place. Dilly to that. You're going to get your fill with this one. You are going to get your fill with this one.
I don't think it's a real category, basically. So I don't mean it in any disrespectful way. I just don't think... I don't think it's possible to have a male body but be a female, because I don't think that's how body and soul or how identity actually works.
And I don't even believe in the soul. I leave room for the existence of a soul, but I don't think that we need the existence of a soul to talk about biology and life and consciousness and all that stuff. But still, even if you do, that's still based in some sort of biological reality, and that you accept that the soul is something outside and different.
I think what we're saying is that transgenderism, let's just say as an ideology, has existed for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
The first books that were burned in the Holocaust were about transgender people about sexual studies.
Maybe that's true, but that's still only 1940. We already know about John Money from the 1920s. These people try to act like it's ages old and that they're just reviving something from like the Native American. Remember the two-spirit thing that is absolutely not transgender? Shout out to Dylan Soup. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party.
Were about transgender people about sexual studies.
Well, yeah, there was all sorts of sort of sexual, and it goes back obviously much further than the 1940s. People had these desires, but it is
yes.
That's new. When we talk about biology, something that's less than 100 years old that we know that is a drastic understanding of biology, that's new. That's a brand new.
Suppose the difference would be transvestitism has existed for all of history, always been sort of, cabarets and red light districts and things like that. But the ideology, meaning the view that a man could say he really is a woman, or a woman could say she really is multiple, they or them, or not either a man or a woman. That's a relatively new ideology.
No.
Not the behavior.
No. Yeah, honey. Okay, so show me where. Show me where you have this particular ideology. If you're going to talk about, again, the two-spirit thing where it's like you're cast out and you're not treated as a man, but you're not considered a non-man, non-woman, that's cope. That's cope.
Behavior, but
we have, looking back, I mean, obviously historical records going back thousands of years get kind of shaky just because, we aren't able to preserve text that long, and maybe text even didn't exist, but
they did exist.
From how long are we talking? Because you were just talking about 1940. We have plenty of text from 1940 and plenty of text from long before 1940.
We actually have
for all of human history.
Well, thousands of years, yeah, but not like.
What does that even mean? For all, we don't have every moment ever that happened in a book, so therefore trans is real. What? I can't get one sentence without some bullshit.
Just because, we aren't able to preserve text that long, and maybe text even didn't exist, but
they did exist. We actually have
for all of human history.
Well, thousands of years, yeah, but not like.
Oh, not going back to Adam in the garden. That's probably true.
But there's evidence of people with assigned male skeletons in traditionally female clothing and attire in burial. And we have the same vice versa. People, this is one of the specific examples I'm thinking of was Norse. There was a...
the Vikings were trans, guys. The Vikings were trans.
Female skeleton that was buried with traditionally male burial rites.
And so you think that would... Your first guess isn't that maybe she was a badass bitch and she did some shit with warriors, so they gave her the accolades, the honors of a warrior. No. It must have been that she thought she was in the wrong body, and so she identified as a man, and everybody else agreed with that. Stupid.
And clothing.
How do they know the skeleton's female?
Well, I said female because obviously I believe that gender is something social rather than just biological, but...
Okay, but that's not what he asked you. You said a female skeleton. He asked you how would they know that it's a female skeleton, because male and female are different. As I thought y'all agreed that gender and sex were different. They can't even keep their own shit straight. Maybe because she's not really trans, but,
It's female.
Well...
How do they know the skeleton is female?
I said female.
And then she says, well, female. What?
Because obviously I believe that gender is something social rather than just biological, but
the scientists were able to identify it by the skeleton.
We know that sex is unambiguous.
Yes.
I don't think we're denying that.
There's this odd idea among conservatives.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When you get in these dogmatic things where everybody kind of has their own idea, their own interpretation, it's whatever bad idea that you've heard from somebody. No, the person that I'm ever talking to, they always have the perfect idea of the LGBT ideology or Christianity or religion or dogma or whatever. They always have the perfect version of it. It's everybody else who's messing it up. You realize how arrogant that is. That if the whole LGBT community, all the people that say all their different experiences, and they're wrong, but you're right. Of all the different religions, they all say this, that, and that, but you're right. Even within Christianity, with all the different denominations, they're all wrong, but you've got it right.
Come on, man.
But I'm the arrogant one for not believing in God.
Is that transgender people don't understand that biological sex exists, or that we're deluded?
Some don't. That we. Some don't. Some do.
Wait. She said, who?
We know that sex is unambiguous.
Yes.
I don't think we're denying that.
Again, you're not, but others are.
There's this odd idea among conservatives that transgender people don't understand that biological sex exists, or that we're...
Yeah, where did this odd idea come from? This crazy idea. It's certainly not from the LGBT community, because we know, we're very deliberate that when we say the things that we say, we don't mix them up, even though you just did that. This odd idea that if you're confused about your sex, that you might be confused about your sex. Crazy.
I don't think we're denying that.
There's this odd idea among conservatives that transgender people don't understand that biological sex exists, or that we're...
Yeah, but see, you do the same thing. You guys did the same thing. We just had Christian on, and there was a certain point where you were on his side, and then he said some things that he didn't like, and it was like, well, I don't know. Not you specifically, Seabass, but same exact thing. It's the dogma.
Transgender people don't understand that biological sex exists, or that we're deluded.
Some don't. Some don't. Some do. You obviously do, but some don't.
No.
I mean, I have yet to meet anybody.
I've yet to meet anyone.
I've seen people clipped out of...
Talk about an echo chamber. So you're actually in the LGBT community. You've never heard anybody talk about actually changing their sex. Maybe you need to pay attention a little bit more.
Context to look like that, but I haven't.
Those people are clipped talking to me. These are people. I promise you, I've spoken to these people on camera in some cases.
It's coming. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, you don't feel that way.
I have
so
never
you're
felt that way.
You're non-binary. You said that you came to this realization at 14.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
No. First she said she didn't know what it was until she was 14. Now she knew from the time she was 14. All right, just trying to keep everything straight. Don't say, why did this person transition into Edna mode from The Incredible? Oh my God.
Kind of pushed you over that edge at 14.
The internet and all the acceptance I was getting and the lack of attention I was getting from people around me, even though, yeah, whatever.
I think intense emotional distress at the prospect of needing to navigate through life being someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's girlfriend, someone's wife.
So growing up, having an existential crisis, as any child will do as they are getting into adulthood, and realizing that, there's actual real shit. Okay, got it. So you just went through normal development.
Someone's mother. That's just
too much for
something that wasn't really a role that I wanted to fill, and a role that I felt intensely distressed at the prospect of needing to fulfill.
Okay, so see, that then is your issue. If you feel intensely distressed because you exist as somebody's sister, the problem is not the gender. The problem is not your gender. I don't even talk to my siblings. But at no point did I feel like, because I'm a brother, and maybe I'm not the best brother, or maybe my brother's not the best brother to me, or my sister's not the best. Never once did it cross my mind to be like, okay, so I guess I've got to be not a human being so that I'm no longer their brother.
What?
Something that wasn't.
And yes, one other thing. Yes, you Christians do sound this retarded when you talk. You do.
really a role that I wanted to fill and a role that I felt intensely distressed at the prospect of needing to fulfill.
Why is that?
It's difficult to explain, and it would be difficult to explain in a very short period of time. It's just one of
It's difficult to explain. It's just a thing. It's just, I kind of like, I don't know, but I know. This is not about trans. This is not about Christianity. This is about dogma. So this is not like putting your head in the sand to ignore the world because you cannot fucking grow up. And yes, I'm projecting a little bit, but hey,
Dilly dilly.
we all need to project a little bit, right? Needed the drink anyway, brother.
it's difficult to explain, and it would be difficult to explain in a very short period of time.
Is that because it doesn't make sense? Is that because you don't have any reasons besides your feelings? Probably.
It's one of those things that you feel deep down in your soul.
You mean it would be difficult to explain even to yourself, or you're just saying it would be difficult to articulate this thing that I
It's
understand?
difficult to articulate. It's
Okay, I got time, baby girl. I got time.
kind of an abstract thing.
The cause of gender dysphoria and this discomfort with your sex assigned at birth in these roles is still pretty widely debated, even in the woke scientific community.
Right. And there would seem to be, even among the pro-trans kind of woke,
Yeah.
a presumed plurality, or multiplicity rather, of causes. Like some people can fall into this as a bit of a sexual fetish.
AGP. One of us said she was describing puberty, and given she was at 14, this movement is ridiculous by giving a catch-all movement to trap kids rather than letting kids just figure shit out as they get older.
Bingo.
This is, I mean, this is the same thing that we keep saying, but for some reason, the people who need to hear it most are the ones who fight hardest to accept any type of reality. It's frustrating. It really is. But I mean, all we can do is continue hammering home what we know to be true. That's all we can do. Seems I'm more aware of my limits, but getting trapped by them. That's life, brother. That is life. And if they believe sex is real, why do they keep saying sex is assigned at birth? Indoctrination.
That isn't transgender, though. That's
Some guys who dress up like women will openly state that they're the Wachowski brothers, who are now the Wachowski sisters, said they fell into their transgender identity largely through pornography, and others will say that as well. Now, you might say,
I didn't know that. Okay, let's see how they react to
well,
that.
it wasn't pornography. It was because of, I wanted to wear a dress when I was 4 years old or something. But I'm just saying, in some cases, it would appear to be more of a sexual fetish. For some people, it might be caused by some emotional distress. For some people, it might be caused by any number of other factors. Again, I'm just repeating what I've heard from the left. I'm not even stating.
I mean, the material.
Right. Yeah. And see, she's already shaking her head. This is the same thing I do when I'm talking to somebody about religion. Then yes, all I can do is speak from my own experience and the people that I've spoken to. But it's not like I picked out 4 Christians and decided, oh, they represent all of Christianity. No, I lived almost 20 years as a Christian, surrounded by nothing but Christians. And so when it's like, oh, well, those people, they got it wrong. The people that you talk to must get it wrong. Only I have it right. Over and over and over again. Yeah, those sisters did a shit job finishing up the Matrix because of it. It was all right. I didn't hate it. Like I said, don't promise a teen all their problems will go away if they just realize they were born in the wrong body. No, you're a teen. Life sucking is actually normal. All the other bullshit isn't. Yeah, exactly. But it's scary. And people who are pushing this stuff, they know that. Took the words right out of my mouth, Zippy.
Again, I'm just repeating what I've heard from the left. I'm not even stating.
I mean, the
I don't think
material.
that the left says that.
What did he just say? So is your position now that he's lying to you? This is the exact same thing. Well, I'm just repeating what I've heard other Christians say. Well, I don't think Christians are telling you that. Well, they're not the right Christians, or they're the Christians like this, or they're the. It's a no-win scenario because it's not based in anything. So everybody has their own unique individual ideas. Yet you call it all the same thing. You call it all trans ideology. You call it all LGBTQ. But when you narrow down on one person's idea, you're talking about something entirely different from the person sitting right next to you.
I'm just repeating what I've heard from the left. I'm not even stating.
I mean, the
I don't think
material,
that the left says that.
the material.
the Wachowski
presence-
brothers certainly do. You know, and they're
That's
They're
two
trans.
people.
Yes, two very, very prominent people who have a lot of respect from the community that you purport to be a part of and support. You cannot have it both ways. Either they speak as trans people, they have just as much right as you, somebody who's not even done anything to transition. I'm lost. It's so disingenuous. And again, I need you guys to understand how this plays out in different issues. It's not just the trans stuff. It's all anything that you will not accept is when the criticism comes at you, you're only willing to deflect, and you're not willing to just say, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. You're not even willing to go there.
The material.
the Wachowski
presence-
brothers certainly do. You know, and they're
That's
They're
two
trans.
people.
The
most famous
material
transgender identifying
presence
people in the
of
world.
somebody wearing
That is
a dress with a male body.
wildly false.
The material presence of a man in a woman's dress perhaps could come about as a sexual fetish. I think we agree on that, but I don't think that. I think what we're trying to say is that that's a very different thing than we're describing.
No,
Oh, okay. All right. So now we have two different categories. We have what you're talking about and what Michael Knowles just talked about. So how do we differentiate between what you're talking about and what Michael's talking about? Because trans is trans, right? That's what you said. Just repeating what we heard from the left. I don't think the left said that. Oh, yes, the left said it. The left says it. Up, down, left, right, 7 ways to Sunday. You, again, are sitting here as a female with long hair and form-fitting clothes, calling yourself a spokesperson for the LGBT community. Yet the Wachowski brothers, who have so much following and so much support, no, well, they're just two people. It's so disingenuous at every step of the way. I mean, kudos to Michael for being able to just stay in the pocket. I think it was clear that he knew this was going to be not a real conversation. But I guarantee you, there are people on the left who've seen this, and they called Michael transphobic. I guarantee you.
On that, but I don't think that. I think what we're trying to say is that that's a very different thing than we're describing.
No, but I guess that's what I'm saying too. That there are these. So we all agree there are these different causes for this kind of identity. You came not to talk about transgenderism. You asked me about abortion.
Mhm.
So you support abortion,
Absolutely.
and you support it. Do you support abortion? We didn't even talk about it, even though it's
Yeah.
the point. You do.
Yeah.
You won't need one though,
No, I won't need an abortion. anytime
and you might not either because you're transgender or non-binary.
Do you believe that transgender people are all celibate?
I'm just a little confused as to what non-binary means.
It's funny because there's a genuine. I think he knew what he was saying. I think he knew he was making joke. I don't know if he's genuinely confused, but even if he is genuinely confused, it's that genuinely confusing. Is that genuinely confusing? Like, you're just a chick. You're just a chick. You're not anything except you just. I'm trying to think of the like a comparison to this in another realm where it's like you're trying to gain the accolades and the honors and the privileges of being part of a group, but doing the bare minimum, just sticking your toe in the water and be like, "See, I'm swimming." Are you though? Oh, are you? Nick understands. I know. You're right there with me, buddy. It's everybody else that I got to convince. That's a shit. Me too. Non-binary. I do not get it. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand what it does for her. Like, she was talking about being a sister, a daughter. Like, do you not talk to your parents now? Or like, what? Did you need to be non-binary to not talk to your parents? If so? Make it make sense.
Transgender people are all celibate.
I'm just a little confused as to what non-binary means.
Non-binary
True.
means I am not a man or a woman,
But you are, though.
regardless of what parts I was bestowed.
Okay. What you're saying is your body has nothing to do with whether you're a man or a woman.
Correct.
Okay.
I think
Why?
oftentimes the gender identity does describe a relationship to one's body. For example, if I were to say I am a transgender woman, I'm directly asserting that I am a woman and that I have, male genitalia.
Or
And
you could have gone under
chromosomes.
the knife and lost your male genitalia.
I could have.
Exactly. So these words don't mean anything. It could mean this, or it could mean that, or it could mean that, or it could mean that, or it could mean that. And to me, it means this, and to her, it means that. And so whatever your truth. You can't run a society this way. You can't run a society this way. I'm talking about gender ideology and religion. You cannot run a society this way. Religion is going to work a lot longer. I will give you that. But eventually it will fail. Zibby said gender is smoke and darting shadow. That's how they see it. Getting rid of gender means no roles or presumptions, just skill and what's between your legs, so people can have safe spaces. That's not. I mean, that's our version of what we're talking about with gender abolition. And I say, fuck it. I say we take that term. Let's just start using it. Why are we? Well, oh no, they already have it, so we have to go with someone else. No, gender abolition means to abolish the idea of gender. So they can say whatever they want and obfuscate the words, but I want to abolish gender as Zippy is describing, and that we only operate on biological sex. And so here we have a male and a female, man and woman and non-binary and all of that just goes out the window, means nothing. All we have is male and female and intersex, if you because it's bimodal. So there's exceptions to the two, but there's only two. It's coming up. Gender is just paint. It's meaningless. Wanted Pro said non-binary is akin to hippies, akin to hippie BS. Their gender fluctuates based on their emotions. May as well say it changes because of the energy of the earth, or because Mercury is in retrograde. Oh, yeah, pretty much.
Genitalia.
Or
And
you could have gone under
chromosomes.
the knife and lost your male genitalia.
I could have. Yeah.
So you could be asserting that too. So I guess that's what I'm saying. It seems like you could just, all of these terms just mean kind of whatever you want them to mean.
Yup.
No, not really.
No, not really. Not really. They have loose general connections to something out there. But kind of. Not really, but kind of. Well, even they do not know what gender is. That's why it's fluid like piss.
It's pretty
just-
concrete definition.
So you just said,
What? No, it's not. What's the concrete definition? Did I miss it, or is she about? I'm just gonna go with she. I don't care. Is she about to give us the concrete definition? Because you certainly haven't done so far.
want them to mean.
No, not really.
It's
pretty
just-
concrete definition.
So you just said to be a transgender woman, I have to be wearing a dress or look like this, but
I didn't say I have to. I said that's just how I like.
what's
to
the
express
concrete definition of a transgender?
There we go.
Somebody who is assigned male at birth who identifies and pursues womanhood.
Okay. And what is
Ready? Or are you ready? What is it? No, I thought it. Whatever. Okay, missed it. Anyway.
Who is assigned male at birth who identifies and pursues womanhood.
Okay. And what is womanhood? And not to sound like Walsh, but what is womanhood then? What does that
Womanhood?
mean in that statement?
I would describe womanhood as a very subjective
But you just
concept.
also said we're talking about things that are concrete, and that's
Okay, I was gonna say I wasn't sure if he was gonna go back to what she was actually like the words that she said, or the fact that we use it. It's a pretty concrete definition. All right.
that statement.
I would describe womanhood as a very subjective
But you just
concept.
also said we're talking about things that are concrete, and that's all. I'm just trying to grab onto something. What is the actual definition of the thing that you are using to define transgenderism?
I would describe womanhood as a set of characteristics associated with females, usually.
But that's a certain.
So stereotypes. So female stereotypes. That's what being a woman is. If you act like a female, then you're a woman. According to this.
from
That's
sex.
a circular definition, and even the way you said it,
No, it's
I would describe, but I'm not asking you to describe it.
Ah, good catch. Good catch. Good catch. Actually, wait, is that a good catch? Because I think she said anyone who. Let's see.
I would describe
Yep, he caught it. Good catch. not describing what transgenderism is. What does it mean?
Womanhood as a set of characteristics associated with females, usually.
But that's a
removed from
that's a
sex.
circular definition. And even the way you said it,
No, it's not.
I would describe, but I'm not asking you to describe anything. I'm asking if you can offer a definition, because it gets
She did get triggered when asked about being a woman, but she did say she identified as a girl at one point.
to the heart of your identity, which is you're 4 years old, you say, I don't really feel like a man. How would you even know what that would mean?
This is my biggest point. This is my biggest point with this shit. This is the biggest thing that just goes like over everybody's heads. How, again, even if you can't explain it to me, how did you come to understand the difference between what it is to have a male brain or a male body and a female brain or a female body? If you've only ever had one body, then what are you comparing it to? All you know, if it's a female body, then all you know is a female body with a female brain. Whatever that female body and female brain does is by definition female because you are a female. And if you do it, that makes it now female. That's how words work. That's how logic works. I know you're hungry, Bubba. That's how it's not any more complicated than that. Concrete that never sets is called mud. Comment of the night. Comment of the night. It's pretty concrete. Concrete as mud. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Your definition, because it gets to the heart of your identity, which is you're 4 years old, you say, I don't really feel like a man. How would you even know what that would mean at the age of 4? And how would you know what that would mean now to feel like a woman?
Because there are a variety of traditions associated with the male and female sex, and
Okay, but you've never experienced those as a female. So how would you have any frame of reference?
decided that I'd rather subscribe to the ones associated with the female sex.
Okay, great. So then we're going back to that. You're not, and again, this person's not claiming that they're actually a female. They're actually claiming that nobody claims that they're actually female. But we're just going to deal with what we've got. And so all you're doing is you're a man who's adopted female stereo. You act like a female. All you've said is that by trans man, I mean I am a male who acts like a female. That is your definition. So he decided at 4. I don't think he knows what that entails. Not quite. Not quite.
The male and female sex, and I've decided that I'd rather subscribe to the ones associated with the female sex.
But how would you even know what that is?
How would I even know what the traditions associated with the female sex are?
Yeah, I mean, they could be
I
just
know
a
that-
caricature.
I know that
They are. Or at least the ones that you're appropriating.
mom stays at home and that dad goes to work. I know that all.
But
Yeah, that's a stereotype. I thought y'all feminists spent forever and a day fighting against that. So now we all accept that the man can stay at home. We all accept that we can have a boss babe. We all accept that girls can play rough too. So why do you have to change anything about yourself? Why don't you just be the oh man, I'm pretty sure he doesn't ask this, but I wish he did. Why are you not a femboy? What makes you a femboy? Or rather, what makes you a trans woman versus a femboy? I mean, I don't know the answer that she would give. It'd be like, well, I don't retain the male identity. But what does that mean? What does it mean to retain a particular identity? These a priori things, these assumptions that there is such a thing to be this, that, and whatever. Like it's nonsensical. Hey, shout out to Unwanted Foe with the $2 super chat. Where's my co-host? There's my co-host Morty. Said poor, confused, depressed Edna mode. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Thank you, sir. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Very, very, very much appreciated. Everybody put Unwanted Foe in the chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they could be
I
just
know
a
that-
caricature.
I know that mom stays at home and that dad goes to work. I know that all.
But you would disagree with that.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
You said you reject
Yes.
those roles.
Exactly.
I understand what a traditional gender role is. I don't reject that it as a concept exists. I'm not comfortable with these social expectations.
So just don't do them. Don't have kids. Don't be feminine. Nobody's making you do that just because you have a vagina. This is a self-imposed problem.
For I am going to adhere to different social expectations that are generally
But that's not what
assigned
you're
to the
saying.
opposite sex. Yeah, it is.
No, you're not.
I'm saying it right now.
Well, now you are, but that's not previously what you said. Previously, what you said was there are these different social expectations associated with being a woman, and I so wanted to avoid them that I no longer call myself a woman. Not that a woman can avoid those social expectations.
Ah, exactly. So that's what I was saying. I think this is what you're referring to, Nick. That you don't stop becoming somebody's daughter because you stop becoming a woman. That's still your parent. That's still you're still their offspring. You don't have to you don't have to do anything in order. If you don't like your parents, just stop talking to them. If you don't want to have kids, just don't have any. Again, this is what feminists fought for so long. And, a lot of other shit after that as well. But credit where it's due. Good. You don't have to. So then where is this distress coming from? That's a genuine question. Where is this distress coming from? I do not get it.
But rather than being a woman. And I so wanted to avoid them that I no longer call myself a woman. Not that a woman can avoid those social expectations, but rather that the social expectations are so intrinsic to womanhood that I will no longer be a woman. I will be a non-binary they, them.
Yeah, as M169 said, as someone who recalls second wave feminism, we won. Take the W. Take the W.
Intrinsic to womanhood that I will no longer be a woman. I will be a non-binary they, them. That's what you said earlier. You see the conflict, the contradiction there.
Yes, I understand where your confusion came from.
Okay, we're the confused ones. Okay, I am ready to learn. I am ready to learn. Because surely this won't be projection. Surely we're the confused ones, and they have everything figured out. All right, let's learn something.
You see the conflict, the contradiction there.
Yes, I understand where your confusion came from. So
oh no, it's just a regular struggle stream thing that we're struggle streaming. Come on, baby. For those of you know what's good, you know what's good. What is good? There we go.
I don't want to adhere to the social norms generally pushed onto women.
So don't. And if you really meant that, then why do you look like a woman?
And I also feel intense discomfort when being called with feminine pronouns, when being called a woman.
So cut your hair, wear looser clothes. What are we doing?
When being perceived as a woman.
Yeah.
You want to not be perceived like a woman? Dress like this thing.
And I understand those things aren't necessarily under my control, so, water off a duck's back. But I feel discomfort with that, therefore I choose to reject it.
Okay.
So is it water off a duck's back? Or do you feel the discomfort and reject it? And therefore lean hard into it and now have to change your entire, I guess, identity. I guess it's your identity. Your gender is your identity at this point. It shouldn't be, but it sure as shit is, clearly. At least, yeah, right. At least with religion. There is a basis for morality. Why are we believing in this thing? Why are we believing? Like, I don't believe it, but I understand why you believe it. I don't believe that they can, change anything about themselves. But I don't even understand why. I mean, okay, aside from that, but why this has become the answer to feeling special. That's what I mean. Did y'all hear that? Little, I'm tired groan there. Or maybe it was, I'm hungry.
Back, but I feel discomfort with that, therefore I choose to reject it.
Okay. Would you just to tie it up, I don't want to spend the whole time talking about the issue that you wanted to talk about. Would you ever get an abortion?
I could come up with a circumstance in which I would.
This is an interesting question. Now, remember the actual event that these two attended was about abortion, according to what Michael said. So I assume that's why he brings it up. But hey, let's ride with it.
I could come up with a circumstance in which I would. I highly doubt that such a circumstance would arise.
Why wouldn't you?
Mostly just because those circumstances, I've never been pregnant. I do not foresee being pregnant in my future.
Oh, she's asexual too, or maybe she's a lesbian, or only does chicks. But again, maybe not the most clear thing. I'm not gonna ding her for this, but I do kind of feel like you should kind of understand the spirit of the question. The spirit of the question is, okay, maybe you have a particular reason why, outside of morality, why you wouldn't have an abortion. But I'm Michael Knowles. I'm here at a political Young America's Foundation event, and you're protesting my politics. Clearly, I'm not just asking about your life. I'm asking about your opinions on these things.
I've never been pregnant. I do not foresee being pregnant in my
I'll
future.
get pregnant.
Okay, but why wouldn't you in principle, I guess?
In principle, I have no issues with it. Past certain points of development, I do believe you can start ascribing personhood to a fetus.
What would the point be then? Because you said, look, there's a point at which I would start to ascribe personhood, and then presumably you wouldn't have the abortion. So what is that point?
I thought he meant what would be the point of the abortion. I'm like, to get rid of the baby.
I'm not a doctor. And
appeal to authority. Well, only doctors can know what's right and wrong. Only doctors can tell us what's right and wrong.
And this isn't something that I've considered very much because, again, I don't foresee myself being pregnant.
Sure. But you intuit. I mean, you're obviously concerned about the issue of abortion. You showed up to this lecture tonight to ask me this long question about it. So you intuit that there is some point, at least in gestation, where the baby would be a person, and then it would be kind of wrong to abort the baby. So
that's me personally.
Yeah. So
shout out to Captain Gooby. Welcome to the party. Good to see you, brother. It said religion at least gives you something you would want to be true. That's a fantastic point. That's different than let's chop up your genitalia and make it and try to make them the opposite of what they were. Yeah, I mean, again, to be fair, I think the what they want to be true is that their problems can be fixed just by at least at most in her case by saying I'm no longer a woman, I'm non-binary now, I'm a they them. So I guess in that way, it does give you something that you would want to be true, that you can just magically fix all your problems. I don't know. I guess this is the because you guys know, since I've been the Indian Jesus, my whole thing has been trying to explain why religion and trans ideology are exactly the same thought processes, just with different things and different levels of morality, different levels of effect on society, so on and so forth. But it's the same principle. And it's this part where what is the difference? I'm still working on that. So give me some time, but I will get it. I will get it. So we said, make no law, stop funding it, and move on. And simple enough that humans can do it without sacrificing a ton of people to enforce it. Enforce what? What are we talking about? I'm lost. I don't know.
Person, and then it would be kind of wrong to abort the baby. So
that's me personally.
Yeah, so I'm asking
right. Your personal. What is your personal opinion? That is what he's asking you.
Personal opinion.
That anyone should be forced to give up their bodily autonomy to save the life of another person, even if you're considering a fetus to be a baby, even if you're considering
if it is a person
from the beginning.
So then why did you bring up the personhood thing? You just said, look, I would.
That's how I feel. But I don't believe that the way that I feel should necessarily decide what other people do with their bodies and their lives.
You don't think that your conclusions are sound? You don't think that you perceive the truth?
I'm just not.
I don't think you're
This is a I remember this part. This is a fantastic way to attack the postmodern. Well, I I'm not a doctor. I'm not the. Listen to how he
should not.
Look, I would.
That's how I feel.
So listen how he does this. You're entitled to. They feel as though you're entitled to your feelings, and those are as true as anything else. But also, somebody else's feelings that might be different are equally as true. So reality is whatever you want it to be. And listen to how he tears that down.
But I don't believe that the way that I feel should necessarily decide what other people do with their bodies and their lives.
You don't think that your conclusions are sound? You don't think that you perceive the truth?
So if you think that you know what is right, why then would you have a problem telling other people to do the right thing? That don't make no sense. Shout out to Eric Matos in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Said the reason religion and trans ideology is the same is because they both assume the soul exists, is a religious belief. Eric, there you go. I think that I have to bring more of that aspect of the soul, and that you're absolutely right. I need to bring that more into it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome to the party. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to see ya. Yeah, Von Zig said I feelism. There you go. There you go. There we go. Yeah, right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Welcome, Eric. Good job.
That the way that I feel should necessarily decide what other people do with their bodies and their lives.
You don't think that your conclusions are sound? You don't think that you perceive the truth?
I'm just not.
You don't think your logic is too good?
I think that believing that my perspective is universally correct, I think that that's hubris.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You just stepped in it, honey, because your whole thing is authoritarian and tyrannical. So you want to back that up? You don't think it's good to push what you want on other people? Because it seems like a lot of other people in the group that you purport to represent, even though all you've done is stop calling yourself a woman and started calling yourself a non-binary and literally nothing else. Actually, it does seem like she's probably gay because she's talking about how she's not going to be pregnant. But point being, y'all are the ones who are trying to force this, that, and the other. Well, all we are trying to force is freedom.
My perspective is universally correct. I think that that's hubris. I'm a human being.
But you came here to tell me that my views are wrong and your views are right.
I do believe that people
hubris?
have the right to self-determination very firmly.
But you would.
How are those different? How is it different from every other sentence means the opposite thing? They say A, and then they say B, and then they say A, and then they say B. And A does not equal B in this equation.
You would force me to live in a society that tolerates abortion?
I don't think that you're being personally affected by that. It's not affecting your right to self-determination.
Absolutely it is. I don't want to live in a society where abortion is allowed. Now, that's pedantic and facetious, but it still affects me in that way. We can get more philosophical and more concrete if you want, but until you do, I don't feel like I really need to. Wonderful said, I don't feel like my perspective is universally correct. However, I'm still going to fight to codify it into law regardless. Is that not what we are seeing here? Is that not what we are seeing here? So you admit that you don't have any idea of what the reality of this is. Yet you feel comfortable shoving it down everybody else's throat. Yeah, you missed a little. All right. Well, shout out to Guamtag. We're going to do this for
wrong, and
only for the members. But
I think
you perceive the truth.
I'm just not.
I don't think you're lying.
Should necessarily decide what other people do with their bodies and their lives.
You don't think that your conclusions are sound? You don't think that you perceive the truth?
I'm just not.
You don't think your logic is too good?
I think that believing that my perspective is universally correct, I think that that's hubris. I'm a human being.
But you came here to tell me that my views are wrong and your views are right.
I do believe that people
hubris?
have the right to self-determination very firmly.
But you would force me to live in a society that tolerates abortion.
I don't think that you're being personally affected by that. It's not affecting your right to self-determination.
I wonder. See, here's another thing when lefties use this. Well, it's not you. It's not your body or whatever. So would you say that it would affect somebody to live in a society where murder, we're not talking about fetuses. We're talking about grown people, children and above, outside of the womb. Would you say that affects me if murder is allowed? Even if we say anybody over the height of 5'4", everybody 5'5" and above, that's up here for me. Everybody 5'5" and above can be murdered and or can be killed for any reason that's not against the law. Are you going to tell me that doesn't affect me? Because I may not have much family that's taller than that, but I sure should have a lot of friends that are taller than that. So all you have to do is then transfer that mentality and realize that when a baby is in a womb, there's still effects. If my sister's getting married this summer, if she gets pregnant, that's my niece or nephew. That's my family. So yes, I'm going to be affected if she decides. I mean, not even let's take abortion out of it. Heaven forbid she has a miscarriage or something like that. You're going to tell me that's not going to affect me? Absolutely, it's going to affect her and her husband more. But you can't say that it's not going to affect me. I got it. Projection. It would not affect her that other people are being killed. So she assumes that because she doesn't care that babies are being murdered, that you wouldn't care that babies are being murdered. Projection. Whoa. Not a drop. Didn't spill a drop. There we go. Yeah, murder tends to go against individuals. Not always. Eric says it does affect. When a mother is willing to dispatch her own child, what else is she willing to dispatch? A husband? A friend? Who will commit to her? Exactly. Well, it's not affecting you. If you can't understand that, well, actually, yes, it is, then I that might be an impasse. I said, of course it would. Proponents of this ideology are so self-centered. They can't see how their logic affects others. So he says a miscarriage is against the will of the mother, more often than not, sure. Your focus is incorrect. You have to look at individual will. A fetus has no will. I don't know what you're saying. All I'm saying is that I personally would be affected if somebody in my family had a miscarriage. That was all that I was saying. I'm not mad at it. I didn't want to read it out loud until I read it, but I'm not mad at it. Fair enough. I
think that you're being personally affected by that. It's not affecting your right to self-determination. It's not affecting the way that you live your life.
Right. So you're forcing me to base my political judgments on your conception of self-determination. Don't you think that's a little coercive? Isn't that a little bit of hubris that you're showing here?
Yes. Just like Christians, yes.
Well, this is odd.
Again, she brings up the word odd. First, the idea that conservatives think that I don't even remember what the fucking is, but this odd trans idea or this odd conservative idea that trans people this, that, or the other. Now it's an odd thought. And I would be smiling like that too. Oh man.
Isn't that a little bit of hubris that you're showing here?
Well, this is odd. Wait, I'm not even following. I'm not sure you're saying much at all.
Projection. That might have been the biggest projection I've ever seen. That might have been the biggest one we've ever had. Let's double it up. Projection. you're going to sit there for 30 seconds in silence and say, I'm not sure that you're saying much. You can't make this shit up. You're literally not saying much. Where's the bling, ding, ding, ding? The Windows starting over. So wait, isn't this person non-binary, not male or female? So abortion does not affect them either. No, remember, it is a female that identifies as non-binary. Sex and gender are different, according to them. Because it seems like her emotions are starting to take over the higher functions. Let's watch that whole thing one more time. I love it. I love it when when it's just that on the nose. The projection, the ad homs, the appeal to authority, the God of the gaps. Whenever it's that on the nose, it's just chef's kiss.
Your conception of self-determination. Don't you think that's a little coercive? Isn't that a little bit of hubris that you're showing here?
1, 2,
Well,
3, 4.
This
5,
is really
6,
this is odd.
7, 8, 9.
Wait, I'm not even following. I'm not sure you're saying much at all.
Okay, so almost 15 seconds of literally not saying anything. And she was about to say, I'm not following, which would be accurate. But then she had to turn around and say, oh, you're not saying anything. I love it.
Can you repeat what you were saying? Try and be more specific.
Yes, you previously
Try and
said
be more specific.
that it's a demonstration of pride and hubris for you to take your own personal judgments and impose them and universalize them to everyone else. And then in the very next breath, you said that your views of bodily autonomy and self-determination ought to apply to everyone, and we all ought to abide by them. That's why you came here to tell me that I'm wrong and you're right. That's a contradiction.
I also believe in democracy, and the majority of Americans.
Oh, hell no!
What does democracy have to do with this? Did I miss that? Am I stupid? Maybe I misheard. Maybe I misheard.
Abide by them. That's why you came here to tell me that I'm wrong and you're right.
Yeah. So, okay, she said it's hubris to say that, oh, my beliefs are everything. Yet you're on a stage with, a very big name who spends a lot of his time in this stuff, whether you agree or disagree. And you're telling him he's wrong. But you also said that it's arrogant or hubris to do that. What's the confusion?
That's a contradiction.
I also believe in democracy, and the majority of Americans side with me. They believe in the right to
appeal to the majority. What is it? Not appeal to the majority, but just appeal to what do they call it? Appeal to the bomb. Appeal to whatever. Appeal to the majority. I forget exactly what the name is, but other people think I'm right. Therefore, people used to think slavery was right, so other people agree with me. Stupid. Of course she believes in democracy. If everyone voted against abortion, then she would be okay with it? That makes sense. Ooh! Probably not right. Probably not right.
Democracy, and the majority of Americans.
Yeah, there you go. Appeal to social media. Highest like count is right. There you go. Appeal to the masses. Thank you.
Side with me. They believe in the right to bodily. Yes.
Do they though?
I'm not so sure. I mean, after Roe v. Wade was overruled, half of the states imposed limitations on abortion or banned it outright. That's democracy for you, isn't it?
Are you under the impression that we live in an absolute democracy?
No,
where
we live.
Again, why would you ask that? What did he say that would lead you to believe that he is unaware of the constitutional republic that we live in?
Are you under the impression that we live in an absolute democracy?
Stupid.
No.
Are you?
Where
we live in a
because you're the one that just made the appeal to democracy out of fucking nowhere.
Representative democracy.
Yeah, we do live in a representative democracy, and those representatives their actions do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the people that they represent.
So you support democracy in principle, just not ours.
I support democracy.
But not our democracy.
I support our democracy.
Well, we have a representative democracy, and you just said that the representatives.
Lot of words in my mouth.
What words did he put in your mouth? What? That's not what you're putting words in your mouth. You're putting words in your mouth that didn't come out of your mouth. We gotta break this down. What just happened?
Necessarily reflect the opinions of the people that they represent.
So you support.
Okay, so she's saying that just because of the fact, so she likes democracy, but because of the fact that we live in a representative democracy, each person doesn't get to dictate the rules of everything. So sometimes the constituents don't get their way. That's what it seems like she's going for.
Support democracy in principle, just not ours.
I support democracy.
But not our democracy.
I support our democracy.
Well, we have a representative democracy, and you
You're
just said
putting
that
a
the
whole lot of
representatives.
words in my mouth.
I think I'm just repeating what you said, and I'm trying to.
You're not.
You just said that you support democracy. And I said, okay, well, in our democracy, half the states decided to severely limit or outright ban abortion.
And I don't like that. Like Womtek said, where is it? Democracy, but only when it agrees with me.
And you said, well, you're assuming that we're a direct democracy. I said, no, we're a representative democracy.
I didn't say that we were a direct. I was
No, you-
explaining.
And one other thing, I love. Some people hate it. Some people hate it, but I love when maybe it's just because I have a good memory for the way that a conversation unfolds. But very often people will be like, that's not what I said, or yeah, right, exactly. But I can go back, no, you said this, and then I responded that, and then you said this, and I said that because of that. If you've been, a shout out to the disciples, if you are part of the Indian Jesus Discord server, where the party never ends, and a channel member here, then you will know we have an after party every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Well, after our 8 p.m. Eastern show, we go right over to Discord, and it is free to join the server. It is absolutely free. You can get our free chat channel, our current events. We're in there all day, but we also have other channels, including the Let Us Speak voice channel, where we hold the after party after every single stream, and we get bug wild in there. We don't have to worry about YouTube censors or anything like that. And yeah, I mean, it's just insane how far off the beaten path this woman seems to be, or excuse me, this whatever they call themselves. Wonderful. So just understand what her words imply. Everything is supposed to only be taken at surface level. Yep. And this is when I have a problem with certain types of conversations. If you know. Well, I'll be talking to somebody, and let me see if I can do this in a. What is the best way to do this? I'm gonna pull a Destiny here. Where's my paint? Okay, so if well, that's not that. Where is the thing? Okay, screw this. So, what I was trying to say is that, in any context, you can, the variable A. So let's say A means, in this context, that A is Morty. Then B is dog. So then we could say A equals B. Morty equals dog. That makes sense. Then we could say dog equals pet. In that case, if we say that's saying A equals B, and then B, dog, equals C, pet. Therefore, A, Morty, equals pet. We don't ever need to explicitly state Morty is a pet if we say Morty is a dog and dogs are pets. It's not putting words in your mouth to say, oh, so then you think Morty is a pet. That is how logic works. So if A equals B and B equals C, then A cannot not equal C. If A equals B and B equals C, then you can't have it where A and C are not the same thing. If A and B are the same thing and B and C are the same thing, then A and C are the same thing.
Half the states decided to severely limit or outright ban abortion. And you said, well, you're assuming that we're a direct democracy. I said, no, we're a representative democracy.
I didn't say that we were a direct. I was explaining to you that
right,
we do not live in a direct democracy.
That's what he's recounting. If you would shut up.
Right. But then I said, right, we live in a representative democracy. And you said, well, that's not representative of the people. But then what that would mean is you support some kind of democracy in theory, but you don't support the actual one we have here, which outlaws abortion in half the states after Roe v. Wade is overruled.
I prefer democracy to actually genuinely represent the feelings and best interests of the people living in that democracy.
I don't think you just said a thing, ma'am. I don't think that you said a thing. But shout out to my one and only sponsor of the stream, out sponsoring him goddamn self. Shout out to Unwanted Foe. Man, I really appreciate you, brother. I really appreciate you. I know that, it's hard for everybody. We're all out here doing our thing. Nobody's fucking rich. And I don't blame anybody for I don't know your finances. But man, Unwanted Foe always comes through. And, it's not like he's dropping $50, $100. It's not. But the fact, $2 here, $2 once a week, man, you do it almost every single time you're here. So thank you. Once again, can I get Unwanted Foe in the chat? The new out-sponsored sponsor of the stream.
I prefer democracy to actually genuinely represent the feelings and best interests of the people living in that democracy.
What if 50%
Every
plus?
once in a while,
What
do you
if 50% plus?
believe the government? Do you 100% agree with the government of the United States on everything all the time?
No, I
And
sometimes.
would that mean that you hate democracy in America?
No, I think some.
No, but you specifically brought up the fact that we live in a democracy, and then you went back saying that, well, even though we live in democracy, we don't get what we want because it's representative. That's what you said.
If the government, do you 100% agree with the government of the United States on everything all the time?
No, I
And
sometimes.
would that mean that you hate democracy in America?
No, I think sometimes most people disagree with me, but that doesn't mean that I would sacrifice my view and the rightness or wrongness of my view to the mob or something like 50% plus one. If 50.
I said, shit, me too. Now, again, I've told you guys, there may be a day where I come up with, I get to a place where I realize that this secular American identity thing will not work. It will not work. Maybe I get to that day. And at that point, I will start pushing some type of secular Christianity, because as we're about to see, that is definitely not far away from where a lot of Christians are. But until that time, I'm going to stand on my business. And it's going to make some of you mad. It's going to make some other people really mad. But the truth has a price.
The rightness or wrongness of my view to the mob or something like 50% plus one. If 50% plus one of the electorate came out and said that abortion is murder and we're going to ban it in all circumstances, would you still support democracy?
Of course.
Stop the cap.
You would.
Democracy, what is that Winston Churchill quote?
That's the worst form of government other than all the other ones that have been
Yes.
tried. Yeah. So you would support that.
Absolutely.
You just got to convince 50% plus one of the people, and you would be the biggest pro-lifer in the country. Ban abortion everywhere.
I mean, I wouldn't agree with it,
Ah,
but I would live with it.
You would live with it. That's good.
fair enough.
You-
Fair enough.
I don't
All right.
believe in imposing my beliefs on others.
You do, though.
If the majority believes that abortion is murder, then obviously I'd be forced to go along with that. I don't
So if the majority of people decided that slavery was okay, you'd be pro-slavery. Again, these people have no fucking principles.
believe in political violence. What would I do? That would be horrifying. No.
Wow, great. All right. So maybe I convinced you a little bit in my talk then.
No.
That's what it sounds like I did. But
I just
at
saying
least-
that I'm not against political violence doesn't mean
you said you would support.
I wouldn't try
you would
and
support the outlawing of abortion if most people wanted it.
I don't think they're saying that
She did say that. She just said that, which is, as I have stated, a lie, but she did say it.
they would totally comply with the social acceptability of being pro-life. I think
Why is it always like you have somebody like a Blair White? You know what? I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to offend anybody. It's not worth making the point. Moving
with
on.
the social acceptability of being pro-life. I think they would still try to convince people within the marketplace of ideas what they believe in.
Okay, so you wouldn't
So-
accept what the majority.
I think when they
want.
say it,
you
I
just
think-
try to convince them otherwise.
yes.
I
of
think they're
course.
trying to say they wouldn't override democracy with political violence. They're not
Yes.
saying that.
Oh, well, that's
within the
good. No one.
Yeah, nobody presented that. It's just an endless vacillation between talking out of both sides of your mouth and then knocking down strawmen. I wouldn't use political violence. Nobody fucking brought up political violence. We're talking about your personal opinion. He asked you specifically in the phrasing, so you would be pro-life. And she said, yes, well, I wouldn't like it, but what are we talking about then? They said, this is America. Freedom freedom of or from religion or death for me. I will not force any of you, and I won't be forced. I said, shit. Me too, brother. All right, so we're going to switch gears a little bit. That's the end of this one here. We do have another one if we get there, but like right before I was watching this, and I felt that it was relevant. So shout out to Caitlin Bennett. She's back on the scene. Back in the days when I was doing the standalone reaction videos, I definitely covered her a lot. Really appreciate her work, and I think this video about spring breakers don't know what Easter is. I think this is going to give a little bit more insight, maybe not even any more weight, but just a little bit more insight from the Christians here, where I'm coming from when I talk about the voting bloc of Christianity and how people aren't really Christians like that. You're not in the same club. Just like that girl, she's only in the LGBT community because she called herself LGBT community. And I want you to see what we got here real quick. Let's get to Eric said, Christian values benefit society and make life better, whether you are a believer or not. You benefit from a peaceful, benevolent society. So I agree with that to a point. I agree that the majority of atheistic mentality these days is on the left, doesn't make life better. What I'm not convinced of yet is that Christianity is the best. The values, yeah, I think the values are great. But as far as, so you didn't, I'm correcting myself because you are saying the Christian values. But my whole thing is that how do you know that there's something, another ideology that can get you closer to God, closer than Christianity to God? You don't know that. Because you've decided, not you, but I'm just saying the general you Christians have decided that Christianity is it. That's what you believe. You have faith that that's 100%. And so you're not going to go any further, which is, you're allowed to do that. But it just begs the question, if there was more, if you could get closer to God and you could have better values and a better society, wouldn't you want that? And until we know that that is not possible, then I don't see why Christianity has to be the only avenue we go. Well said, Eric. Hey, shout out to our boy, Guam Tech, stealing that sponsorship spot with the $5. So we must hold off the dance of hunger before Morty destroys us all. Oh, he gets angry. You would not like him when he's hungry. Just kidding. Thank you. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. All right, so let's dive into spring breakers don't know what Easter is.
We'll celebrate Easter.
I couldn't tell you.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
I don't know.
You know, I know.
I swear I don't know. I promise you I don't know.
Hey.
I actually don't know.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
Christians. This is y'all. This is y'all. Y'all claiming this. Y'all claiming this.
I don't know.
What does Easter mean to you?
Easter means freedom to me. It's just a time to get out.
Sounds like a fuckboy already. It's just freedom. You just want to like do what's cool, bro, and just like my vape that has vape clouds like so big, dude.
I'll spend with family, celebrate, have fun with some kids, friends. Just go have something to do, you know?
All right. That sounds more like 4th of July. Is there one person that comes to mind when you think of Easter?
Not
my mommy.
one in specific, just mostly family.
Shout out again to Caitlin. Thank you. More than
Easter, everybody. We are here in Clearwater today to figure out if people know why we celebrate Easter and what.
Wait, did I miss that? Did he say that? Whoa.
Something to do, you know? With family, celebrate, have fun with some kids, friends. Just go have something to do, you know?
Haram!
No, good fucking catch. Good fucking catch. What the hell? Have some fun with some kids. What you mean? Maybe, okay. Here is my giving the benefit of the doubt. Here is mine giving the benefit of the doubt. Those of you who are stuck in your boomer mentality are not aware that there's this thing called TikTok where it's more than just dance. No, I'm just kidding. So there's a trend on TikTok where Gen Z looks old as hell and millennials look younger. So millennials are looking younger than Gen Z on specifically on TikTok, but I guess in general. And so maybe this dude is like 16 and he is a kid. So it's like, I want to go play. Like, what do you mean you want to go play? Like, if you're an adult, you want to say, I'm going to go play. Like, what does that mean? But if you're 9 and you're like, I want to go play, like, that's the reason. So that's all he's getting. That's all he's getting.
Water to figure out if people know why we celebrate Easter and what it all means. Let's go find out.
I love this. Nick says there's a lot more Christians in prison than atheists. It's not the religion that gives us the morals. It's the moral people that take the religious stories as morality tales. Bingo. Well said, sir. Well said. Are you 100% sure you will go to heaven? No. Are you? Didn't think so.
We got her over here on camera. She's doing her damn thing. How about you guys subscribe to Liberty Hangout?
You had to look at the thing while you're doing it. Hit the subscribe button for the Indian Jesus.
How about you guys go ahead and give a sub, a like, and damn near maybe even a couple video watches, because we're gonna show you guys how a good time goes down. Liberty! Liberty! Liberty!
Oh my God, do you remember being that age? Do you remember being that age where just like chanting stuff was an activity? Maybe it's a college thing. I don't know, but like, oh, good old days.
Liberty!
Did you know there's an opportunity to talk to me one-on-one in my private Facebook group? You can gain access by donating $5 a month to me at patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett. Like-minded people are there. We talk all the time. It's great.
Shout out to Caitlin. Go support her.
Sign up and I'll see you there. Why do people celebrate Easter?
April the 1st.
What?
April the 1st.
Nope. That's April Fool's Day.
Nope. What is Easter? Do you know what Easter is?
Yes.
Do you know?
Why do people celebrate it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Again, these are your people. These are the people that when we say Christians this or Christians that, we are talking about people like this guy.
Does it have anything to do with Jesus?
Oh yeah, it does.
Go on.
They do it for Palm Sunday, I think it is, Palm Sunday.
It's kind of in the same.
Passover.
Close.
Okay, put in the chat. Let's do like a percentage. What percent of the people in this video do you think are going to answer correctly? It is not 0. It is not 0. I'm sure it's edited to put the stupidest people in. But what percentage of people do you think are going to get the correct answer as to why do people celebrate Easter?
It's kind of in the same.
Passover.
Close.
Passover, bruh. I mean, close in the sense that it's with the same God, I guess. Context says 2%. All right.
What happened on Easter Sunday?
He was resurrected.
There we go. Now you knew the answer all along. Perfect. Are you a Christian?
Did he though? Did he know the answer all the way along? I don't know if he really did. It doesn't really seem like he did.
He was resurrected.
There we go. Now you knew the answer all along. Perfect. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Yes, very much a Christian. I know all about Christianity because I pray and I have a close relationship with what's that guy's name? He was yeah.
All right. You got some work to do there, but I'm just kidding. You got this.
No, you don't. All right. Infilm says 15.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
Why people celebrate?
We're not counting. We're not counting. So far, we are. We'll go from the beginning. So far, we are. Okay. That's only I got confused because the intro. So we're 0 for 1 right now. This guy doesn't seem to know. Nick says 1 to 5%. Guantek said 20, and I'm purposely gonna say he said 20%.
I don't know. I don't know.
0 for 2.
You want to phone a friend?
Hold on.
Hey.
All right, we need to phone a friend. Do we have a friend for this gentleman over here? Anybody want to phone a friend, sir? Can you phoning a friend?
None of those people know. None of those. We gotta count. We gotta count.
You want to phone a friend?
Ready?
Hey.
All right, we need to phone a friend. Do we have a friend for this gentleman over here? Anybody want to phone a friend?
All right, so we got 1, 2. Is there someone else? 2,
Sir,
3, 4, 5,
phone-
6. At least 6 people paying attention. There was a girl who had her back turned. Seems like she was paying attention. But at least 6 other people and the guy answering questions. 7 people in a crowd do not know what Easter is. But yeah, please tell me more about how important Christianity is to America.
a friend. I think you're on your own.
Oh man.
What other life?
All right, next question.
Your friends abandon you.
So M169 points out this is not representative of people who profess the resurrection is real. The first young man has a peripheral acquaintance with Christianity. Fair enough, but that's not really that doesn't really go against my point. That when we talk about the presence of Christianity and Christian values and Christians in the context of politics, again, in the context of politics, that it's not about whether these are the most representative people. The fact is that these are part of the group, and it's not representative of it's not a okay. So I absolutely take your point. I absolutely take your point. 100%. I don't think that cuts against the point that I'm making, that among the people, it's not as strong as just, oh, you're a Christian, I'm a Christian too. That's all I'm saying. I'll say they should have a compare and contrast video with this question. Take this and do the same thing in a rural town and see what the difference would be. I'd be interested to see. I'd be very interested to see.
I think you're on your own.
Oh man.
What other life?
All right, next question.
Your friends
He said next. Did he say next question? Nah, bro. It's just the one.
abandon you.
You gonna abandon me,
You
bro?
know what? Let's walk over to him.
All right, let's go over here.
All right. Since you want to abandon your friend, we're putting you in the spotlight. Why do people celebrate Easter?
I don't know.
You know. I know.
I swear I
But
don't
I
know.
don't know.
I promise you I don't know.
Hey,
I actually don't know.
it's because Jesus was born, right? Reborn or something? Came up for something?
I don't know, bro.
I remember it, man.
He's like, bro, I don't know why you asking me. I have no goddamn idea.
It's something like that. It's something like that. I'm there. I'm close.
Yeah, you're pretty much
That's all.
right.
Yeah.
You're pretty much right.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Did you know that? You know Jesus resurrected?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. You just didn't know it.
Oh, he's like, yeah, obviously I knew that. What, you think I don't know easy basic shit? Yeah. Bonzig 420, baby. That's my holiday. Love it. So good. Nick said, many claim a belief, but how many actually live the belief? Exactly. That is the point. So no doubt is not well represented at all in the body politic. Yeah. Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
What happened? That's why we celebrate Easter.
Yeah, basically.
All right. How long have
Basically.
you been a Playboy bunny?
This guy's definitely a fuckboy. Oh my god.
Probably about
Nice crucifix chain I see there.
69 years.
Good for you. A young Hugh Hefner over here. I love it. All right, there we go. Why do people celebrate Easter?
I couldn't tell you. the rise of Christ or something.
I don't know.
It has something to do with Christ.
Does anybody?
Oh shit! I forgot to count. We were just at the 6, right? We didn't go on, did we? Okay, yeah, that was okay. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one got it. Okay. And we're gonna count that other dude too. So far we are 1 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 for 10. We are at 1%, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna get any better.
The rise of Christ or something.
I don't know.
I'm taking that. That works.
Does anybody know why we celebrate Easter?
The birth of Christ.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Something to do with Christ.
That's
That's
Christmas.
another X.
Oh, is it the death?
The death of Christ.
No,
That's another X.
That came before Easter.
Again, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 out of the 5. So 1. Yep.
The rise of Christ.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Should we give it to him?
Yes.
Why do we celebrate Easter?
Got some more.
Very beautiful smile.
Is it God's birthday?
Is it God's birthday? Is it God's birthday? Yes. That's oh my God. I love those videos where the guy just does it and they give the wrong answer. And he says, yes, good job. It's like, what's 3 plus 3? 9. Yes. That's her husband, bro. You guys are a power couple.
Look at it! Oh, we never knew that they were happily in love. Look at his ring. Look at her.
If you didn't know, she was away for a while because she got married and had a baby to the cameraman.
I'm so happily in love. You can find it here in Clearwater, baby.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
It's just a culture for some people. I mean, some people do it to have fun, get together with family. I mean, it's warm out, getting off of winter, so I mean, why not?
There's no significance.
I mean, it depends. It goes from person to person. I mean, it means, yeah, I think so.
Okay. What does Easter mean to you?
Easter means freedom to me.
Freedom to hang out with kids.
Freedom.
Yep, get out.
I guess in a way,
Yeah.
it could mean freedom from.
It depends, like I said, person to
It depends, man. Just like whatever your truth is my truth. And it's just like whatever, it depends. Like whatever, man.
person. It's just a time to get out, spend with family, celebrate, have fun with some kids, friends. Just go have something to do, you know?
And I bet you they all think that they're like so deep. Like, bro, did you ever think about like, it's like a holiday that we could like use this time and like spend the time with each other and it'd be like super cool, bro. Shout out to K-Ram. Welcome to the party. Indeed, a funny funny, but also a little bit sad, but definitely funny. Welcome to the party. They said freedom from the devil. Actually, I'm not even back.
No.
All right. That sounds more like 4th of July.
However you look at it.
But you know what?
However you look
Easter
at it,
could
man.
be freedom from our sins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be freedom for our sins, from
He said our sense. What? Freedom from our sense. Freedom from our sense. What does that mean? What does that mean? Freedom from our sense. Freedom from our sense. What is freedom? Oh, I didn't even see that. It wasn't on camera. Oh my God. Freedom from our sense. Freedom from our sense. She gave him the answer. She specifically said freedom from our sins. I have to see that again.
From our sins.
yeah.
Okay.
Could be freedom for our sins, from where we're at, who we're around. Just try something new.
Okay.
See new
Try
things.
something new. Celebrate Easter.
Yep.
Try something new.
Like, remember, that's the same guy who said, hanging out with kids, have some fun with kids. It also be great to have comparable videos from 50 years ago. Yeah, there is nobody, Christian or not, that would not know what the fuck Easter is for. Oh, Lord.
Try something new.
Okay.
See new
Try
things.
something new. Celebrate Easter.
Yep.
Try something new. To watch the full, uncut, and uncensored version of this exact video, go to libertyhangout.tv. It helps support my work. A lot of juicy content on there. Check
Me too, while you're at it.
it out. Why do people celebrate Easter?
Because I think that.
Oh, Jesus. Wait, did I count these people? Yes, that was the dude. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Nick says, dude, that's probably what the smartest of them would sound like. You're giving them too much credit. This guy's proof of it. No, we got to be fair. Like M169 said, this is clearly not a representation of all Christians, but it's just too much. It's too much to be ignored. It's too much to be ignored. Quantex said, holy shit, man. Words lose more value with every generation. Easter is a pagan holiday, and the actual day of resurrection is Saturday night. Based. He's right. Look it up. Spring equinox. Stole it from the pagans.
Check it out.
Or Ishtar, right? That was it. Is that? I remember some memes from when I was following every other Ishtar. No. Yeah. Ishtar. She is the goddess of love and sexuality, thus fertility. She's responsible for all life, but she is never a mother goddess. As a goddess of war, she's often shown winged and bearing arms. Her third aspect is celestial, blah, 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 blah. And that is where it came from. Lies and bullshit. Lies and bullshit. I don't know why you motherfuckers still believe it. But all right, moving in. So all right, we're 1 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, and we got 4 more here. All right.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
Because I think that people are so good at celebrating false holidays that, you know what I'm saying, it's something to do. I just said the other day, when we start having sister day, daughter day, cousin day, they just making up anything nowadays.
Hashtag Transvillability Day. It must announce the it's I don't know how to say that. Ishtar is the goddess. There you go. Yeah, but it's all stolen. Easter means nothing. So we got so now we are 1 4 15.
It's crazy.
There's no point behind Easter?
Actually, you know what? I want to stop and give a dilly to my boy Seabass. We disagree on so much, but it's funny. It's funny how sometimes it just circles around and, we agree. See, I'm willing to work with you, brother. I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
I think it's only a point behind something when it's facts, when you got all your facts together, and all the facts are really not together, so no.
Preach.
What facts are missing from Easter?
Was he resurrected? Pretty important fact.
The actual day.
Okay.
Yeah. Now don't ask me no more.
Why do people celebrate Easter? Okay, we don't have to say it's Easter. Do you know what this time period represents?
Ain't it the resurrection? Yeah.
Yes. You don't believe that that's what Easter is about?
Resurrected. I just don't believe it's on the day we celebrate.
Okay.
Okay, so all 4 of them are getting the same grade because it seems like but we can only go with an X or a no. I want to give him credit. I'm going to give him credit. Does anyone have an issue with him giving them credit? Because right now we are 1 for 15. So I think these ladies, they know that it's Seabass is here saying Easter means nothing. It's not that he doesn't know the supposed significance. I think they're doing the same thing. Let's look at Easter is the one time a year that bunnies can lay eggs. All the reason to celebrate for me. I said shit. Me too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, so I lost count with the. Okay, so I had one of them. So we got to change. She was 15. So we have 15, 16, 17, and 18. All right, we are 4 for 18.
That's what Easter is about.
Resurrected. I just don't believe it's on the day we celebrate.
Okay.
Like a whole lot of days ain't. Martin Luther King for one. Oh, y'all.
Where does the word? But what is Easter? What Because Easter is different than just a Saturday night hanging with the boys type of thing.
I like that.
Well, what do you think?
Well, first, what do you think? I thought I was gonna go and pontificate and like, well, you know, it's like time, like, bro, like we can have like time.
What do you think Easter is?
Are you trying to avoid saying something?
I already said everything I need to say, for real.
All right. Is there one person that comes to mind when you think of Easter?
Not one in specific, just
Okay, I wasn't feeling that because when she says you're trying to avoid it seemed like she was implying that she was sensing from him that he knew what was good, but he doesn't want to say it for some reason or another, which I didn't catch. I didn't see. And he's denying it, so.
mostly family, real, just for me.
Have you ever heard of Jesus Christ?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course I have. Of course I've heard of Jesus Christ. I'm talking about barbecuing and having fun with kids on Easter. But of course, why would you even ask me if I've heard of Jesus Christ? Of course I've heard of Jesus Christ. Do you think I'm a bad person or something? Because obviously we know that that's what the word means. Christian means good and not Christian means bad, right? That's what everybody knows. K-Ram said I was on a little break. Back to my shift. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for hanging out. Please hit that subscribe button. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Good to see ya.
Do you want to reframe your answer now that I mentioned that someone is involved here?
Yeah, I mean, I said it went from person to person. Personally, for me, it could be worshiping. It could be doing Bible study.
Ninja.
Just celebrating his day that he was born.
No! I mean, it's not Christmas, but that's Christmas!
And the day that he
That's
came.
Christmas.
Oh, I'm tripping. My bad.
He was resurrected
Right.
on that day.
Yep.
Yeah.
My mom just said something about that. But yeah, it's celebrating who he is, what he gave for us.
So, as much as M169, you are absolutely right that this is not representative of all Christians. What I am saying is that, do you feel comfortable saying that the 5 out of 18 people in this video so far that knew what Easter was, are you going to tell them they're not Christians? Are they not allowed to be Christians? Are they Christians? Or how does that work? Because I have one more. I want to finish this video, but I have one more piece. You guys might have seen my community tab post, but I really want to talk to you guys about it. I've never had something like a tweet like that where I just want to talk about it. So I'm excited to do that. But yeah, it's 100% fuck boys. Because they worship the baby Jesus, but it's really TAMES. Never heard of him.
Something about that. But yeah, it's celebrating who he is, what he gave for us, and he gave us all opportunities that most times, unfortunately, a lot of people take advantage of.
I like that answer.
I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is, given they are woefully uneducated, are they any less Christian? Or is this what Christianity actually can entail? I have no issues saying that atheism can usually look like probably that, the hedonistic leftist. I have no issues with that. But that's because I don't have a dogmatic attachment to my position as an atheist.
Why do we celebrate Easter?
We got 2 more.
Because of the rabbits. Rabbits?
Oh, I thought she was joking. That's a straight face. No way.
Answer. Why do we celebrate Easter?
So she's smiling now.
Because of the rabbits.
That's a straight face answer.
Rabbits? Because that's when, something about Jesus. That's when Jesus died on the cross. That's when he rises. Do you know the answer? That's when he rises. Okay.
Why do we celebrate?
Wait, did she say it? She said she got it right.
That's when, something about Jesus. That's when Jesus died on the cross.
Nope.
That's when he rises. Do you know the answer?
Okay, I'll give it to her. So we are what is that? So that's 19 and that's 20. So we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 20. 3% so far. Is it though? Who else makes these determinations if not other Christians? If it's up to me, I will gladly take that position. I will gladly take that position because it should be objective. It should be objective, at least to some extent. When it's not, then what do we get? Please tell me I didn't exit out. We get this. When it's not, we get this. These are the trans versions of the people in here.
That's when he rises. Okay.
Why do we celebrate Easter? Why do people celebrate Easter?
And he says the rabbits are like Catholics, both. Breed liked rabbits. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It's so wild. It's so wild where like I didn't understand why it was like you would see Christian families, and especially like Christian families that were, you know, the closer to the church the family was, the more kids they tended to have. My I remember I think he had maybe 2 or 3. My when I moved from the Catholic church to the Methodist church, and there was an actual youth group. There was actually content and time dedicated to getting kids interested in the faith, instead of just boring them and calling them horrible for not caring. He had, I think, 2 kids, both, you know, like Irish twins. I was in that church from 8th grade until I graduated high school. The dude had 7 kids by the time I left that church. 7 kids. So I guess it's not just the Catholics. All right, so we got 2 more people here.
Sir? That's when he rises. Okay.
Why do we celebrate Easter? Why do people celebrate Easter?
Oh, goodness gracious. It has something to do with Jesus Christ.
That don't count.
Yes.
Do you think it has something to do with Jesus Christ?
You could say that.
You could say
I
it.
could say that.
But why not?
Okay, maybe the one Ezra, thank you.
Because I don't want to try and force other people to believe what they need to believe.
What?
Fucking pardon? I've short-circuited now. What?
Because I don't want to try and force other people to believe what they need to believe. I really feel like...
If I said that grass is green right there, is that offensive?
No.
So saying the truth about what Easter is not offensive?
No.
No? All right.
Fair.
You're stronger than that. You don't have to shy away.
I don't have to tell you what I believe.
No, but I don't know. I wouldn't have to explain to Jesus or God that I told someone that Easter was about the Easter bunny.
That's fair.
I know. You can explain that one to him.
Shout out to Unwanted Foe and our sponsor of the stream, Guam Tech. Apologize for not upgrading the banner. You are now justifiably the sponsor. Because I don't know if God exists. I have my doubts. But I'm hoping, but I hope I'm praising God by acting like he wants me to just be. I try to do right, not wrong. That's just the morality I need to live with myself. I said, shit, me too. And I would argue that that's all anybody needs, as long as they haven't atrophied their morality muscle with a dogmatic ideology. But, you know, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't say it that way, but I think it's inherent to you as a human. I don't think it has anything to do with anything else but the genetics of your ancestors. That's it. That is it. In films, this is the world where nothing, or where words mean nothing. Yup. And you know why? Dogma and semantic obfuscation.
That's on you. What is it?
Resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Woo! Go Bow! Very good.
PK right here.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
I don't know. I mean, I know what they mean. If I don't know, that's not really why people celebrate. They just...
Well, it's not the Easter bunny, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I know what the meaning is, but
do you though?
I'm not really sure why people celebrate it.
Christians.
Yeah.
Because their Savior rose from the
That's
dead.
what I'm saying. Everybody's not, in my opinion.
See, like again, there's this the idea is that Christian equals good and not Christian equals bad. And so when you get a question like this, it's like, well, I have to show, of course, that I'm a Christian, because otherwise I'm a bad person. When really, you're just stupid if you don't know what the fuck Easter is for. But instead of being humble, you're just going to bullshit. And I'm not saying that's a Christian thing. That's just a people thing. But it's so... just be like, to be honest with you, I don't know. To be honest with you, I got to Google that shit. And now you know. You should have known. But at least, you know, god damn.
Yeah.
And so first he didn't know, and then she brought up Christianity, and so now he's like, yeah, totally. And what is he saying?
Because their Savior rose from the dead.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody.
That's what I'm saying. I was saying that their Savior rose from that's what I'm saying.
It's not, in my opinion.
In my opinion.
Oh, you know, you get what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't, because you didn't say anything.
We got each other. We're talking in our heads.
Rub
We'll
me.
rub you.
All right, so we are. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for 24. 7 for 24. I'm just to my earlier answer. I meant making an ultimate judgment, as in a person's soul. As others have said tonight, we live in a time when people are scared to just say, scared to say, or just don't know. I mean, that's fair. Oh, this isn't meant to be the see, I got you. Christianity is bad. Now you should all agree with me. This is just more lighthearted stuff to fill out the perspective of a secular conservative. That all of these people would be accepted into the conservative movement like that because they say that they're Christian. But they don't even know what Easter is for. Easter. I just don't get it.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. We got each other. We're talking in our heads. We'll rub you.
Rub us back.
Rub me down.
All right, if you don't get it right, we're moving on. And we'll keep going until someone gets it right, okay? Why do people celebrate Easter?
I'm going to say because Jesus was born again. Yeah. Jesus was born again.
I'm going to give that to him. All right, so we have... Oh, where did that go? So, after 25 people, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people. That is not even a quarter of the people. I'm not even done with the video yet. So let's go on this a little bit more, and then, like I said, I have something that I want to show you.
I'm going to say because Jesus was born again. Yeah. Jesus was born again. Right?
You sure about that?
Are we sure? How about you, sir, behind the camera?
Can we find a friend on that?
Can we phone a friend? One of these lovely ladies over here?
What's Easter celebrated?
Wait. Go ask them. Go ask them.
Miss.
Hey, shout out to Caitlin. She knows how to get some content.
Miss in the beautiful jean shorts. Why do we celebrate Easter?
For the Easter bunny.
She says the Easter bunny. That's a good one.
Is it
I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
So was I correct though?
I don't know. Let's see.
What do you mean? I say yes. Even if you're far enough, it's bad enough that if you're going to say Jesus' rebirth, I mean, that's literally a synonym for resurrection. So, I mean, at least in this context. They said, I love how you read my poor attempt to communicate through words, and you understand what I want trying to convey to you. It's a skill. I'm working on it, but always there with your brother. Always there.
Who votes the Easter Bunny?
I vote. I mean, it's cool. It's a good answer.
3. All right. Who votes the resurrection of Jesus Christ?
Oh, I vote.
That's what it was. He was born again. The resurrection, the born. He is born again.
Yeah, I give him, but there was 3 more. So we are now okay. So we need 1 more to get to a clean 30.
Gosh, you knew it.
I sound like a preacher.
He was born again. We're medium rare out here with good bodies. It's clear water, and he was born again on Easter. Sir over there.
Yeah, go.
All right, this is the
Let me
last
get one of
person.
these guys.
These guys.
Give me one. Yeah. Do you care to answer a couple questions today? Well, it's really one question for all. Why do we celebrate Easter?
Oh God, I'm Hindu.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. How do you celebrate?
By having fun, drinking.
Having fun, drinking a little bit of wine, get a little crazy. Getting a little crazy.
Let's get a shot of this fashion statement. Tie-dye Crocs, alligator
Tie-dye Crocs.
shorts, no shirt because he doesn't need one, and a beautiful hat.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so we're gonna go to 33
not
people.
from here, but I'm soaking this all in. So
Yeah, you look like a tourist for
Shout
sure.
out Jack Gould for setting up the boys trip for all of us.
Got it all
down here. You're talking to the wrong guy. This other guy we have is very handsome.
Very handsome. Look at this strong.
I'm all for being about your bros, but a little too much within 3 seconds of being on camera with a woman there. Just saying.
The other guy we have is very handsome.
Very handsome. Look at this strong bond between all of these men here. This is true masculinity, I have to say.
Thank you.
People talk about toxic masculinity. That is not what they're talking about. I love the bond that you guys have with your friends.
So real quick, Seabass, what do you think about people who are born-again Christians? Genuine question.
It's beautiful. Give a hug. I love it.
I gotta watch my mouth. I'm sorry.
Why do we celebrate
Did he just say I gotta wash my mouth? What the fuck are y'all doing?
Easter?
Why do we celebrate Easter? And I know this. I know this. Give me a second. You can play the Jeopardy clock right now or whatever it is. It has something to do with, I feel like, the Christianity religion, right?
Okay, all right.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Seems like.
That's one lifeline. So
Okay. I'm not gonna make any more of a fool of myself right now.
No, you're in the clear.
Okay.
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 All right. You want to be more specific?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You guys not Christians then?
Correct.
Correct. Okay.
All right,
What are
at
you?
least they're not.
Oh man, jeez.
I'm just curious. This is the
Honestly, I grew up in a Christian family.
Okay.
And they didn't celebrate Easter? So people who are born again have their name written in the Lamb's Book of Life, so that later we will be born again. Oh, okay. So you buy that shit. Okay. I was just curious. I would have expected you to be like, no, that's bullshit. Like you can repent and whatever, but this born again thing, the entire time I was aware of it, bullshit. Just my personal opinion, but it's all bullshit. But even before I accepted some of it, I thought it was all bullshit.
They didn't ever tell you what Easter
Well,
was?
they did, but I didn't pay attention very well.
Guys, why do we celebrate Easter?
Jesus Christ. See, I was right.
I'm looking for specific.
That's what the transes say. You're sounding like a trans.
That's my answer too.
Risen from the dead.
Yes.
All right.
There we go.
Thank you. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
All right,
I
last
just-
person.
Later, he was in the
Whoever's next is the last person. Then we're moving over to the last segment of the stream. Guys, if you want to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
I didn't want to take the lead.
Story.
Why do people celebrate Easter?
Okay, so there's 3 of them here. If any one of them, we're going to give them all 1 score. So if any one of them gets it, because this is 33. So this would be, 36 is just, 35 is not as easy. So 33 people, you get a nice round number.
I thought it was
Okay, 4 of them. And any 4 of them.
You said you're the best.
It's supposed to be sport, and it's the resurrection of Jesus Christ, right?
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Why you... That's right, man. That's right.
All right, that's right. That's right. That's right. Why do we celebrate Easter?
All right. So we were we give them the win on that. So we have, let's see, how's the best way to do this? Oh, duh. Hold on. Churry. So these are our findings. I did not want to do that. Whoa, I did not realize I had that many tabs open on this thing. Okay. So we have of all of these of 33, we had the we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 33. So, I mean, again, not the end of the world that people don't know this. It's clearly, edited for effect. But, I mean, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. So before we go, the last thing that I want to share with you guys is this post from my community tab. So I don't know if you guys saw from Miss Blair White. I'm a transsexual and disturbed by the blatantly inflammatory prioritization of Trans Day of Visibility above Easter by Biden and the establishment. It's led me to a decision about something brewing in me for a while now. I'm going to try going to church for the first time. So I have a couple of questions. First, before I'm just going to read the thing, but originally I was not on the bandwagon of, this Trans Day of Visibility is all about Easter and trying to all that stuff. Since 2009, they've had Trans Visibility Day on March 31st. There's only so many days in the fucking week, so eventually it's gonna fall on Easter. So that was my position. However, then you go on Twitter, and I should have these pulled up, but if somebody wants to link them, then you can find them easily. But the Joe Biden official Twitter tweeted out a thing for trans visibility, and I had a nice long thing and a picture and with the post, and then Easter was basically just like happy Easter and nothing. And after knowing that on this particular Easter, that this Trans Visibility Day falls on the same day, to put any iota more effort into the trans post than the Easter post is deliberate. That is deliberate. And so, like I said, before I was aware of that, then the fact that it happened to be this day is not anything. The fact that it happens to be this day and they're going to double down does mean something to me. And so this is in, like she's saying in response. So I said, genuine question from an ex-Christian. If she doesn't actually believe in the tenets of the gospel, does it not water down the religion? I am not saying that Blair is doing this for clout or political points or anything like that. I have no reason to think she's not being sincere. What I'm saying is that it seems as if Christianity what I'm saying is that it seems that she sees Christianity as the only avenue to reinforce politically conservative beliefs, which poses a problem for those of us who hold conservative values but do not believe in the truth claims of a particular religion. If I was still a Christian, I would feel like this political person is just using my faith as a tool, which expands the definition of Christian from one who has a relationship with Christ to just not woke. I fear this meshing of Christianity and political conservatism has gone from two ideologies that heavily overlap. And again, I talk all the time. Yes, I absolutely admit they heavily overlap, but they're not the same thing. It's gone from two ideologies into just one group. I was recently told that I can't be a conservative if I'm not Christian. And the reasoning was that, quote, Christianity is the acknowledgement of a moral hierarchy. I mean, if that's all it is, I guess I'm a Christian too. But I don't believe in God or that someone could be resurrected. So are we just expanding this definition of Christian to good person? Because when I was a Christian, it meant a lot more to me than that. or the acknowledgement of the moral hierarchy. And somebody said, so most people were like, no, yeah. So praise God, church is not the great big evil. Great big evil left out. Happy for you, Blair. Shout out to Pitt's Take. So it's the only structure most people know for a good person. It's not watering it down if Blair's truly striving to know God. I don't hold any of the current religions, but we currently don't have any structure for morality outside of it. I completely agree. That is a problem. Shout out to Eric Meadows. Was it you? Yes. Okay. So shout out to Eric. It was. So Eric said, I don't think so. When a person that doesn't believe in the tenets of the religion visits a church, it doesn't diminish the religion. On the contrary, it shows that the religion has an appeal outside of their congregation. It's only when the church changes itself to accommodate the beliefs of the new people coming in that the watering down occurs. Completely agreed. Completely agreed. But let's play that out. Either you have a non-believing trans just being part of your congregation, or eventually the church changes. And again, this is not about Blair personally. This is about the concept that, hey, in Christianity, transgenderism is not something that should be accepted. God made man and woman. You are made in God's image. You are spitting in God's face if he made you as a man and you decide, I'm going to be a female. And so again, it's not even about her, but it's not. What if 10 other random trans people decided that they were going to start hanging out at your church? Eventually, they're going to want to be included. So we agree that if it does lead to watering down the church, it is a bad thing for the church. I don't know if I saw this. Where did Eric respond here? Said, even if this plays out, the church will not close the door to them. Right. That's what I'm saying. That if anybody is welcome, then it's not a club. Even if this plays out, the church will not close the door to them. The church is made of people with genuine desire to improve their lives, as imperfect as they might be. If the church's aim is true, the message should not change. He is free of sin, may cast the first stone. Why do we choose which affliction is not worthy of redemption? All right, let's finish and then I'll come back. In Blair's case specifically, she admits her condition and genuinely struggles with it. She doesn't deny reality. I've called him her and she before because she presents herself so feminine that it tricks my brain sometimes. Yet Blair is against trans ideology that denies reality. She has my respect. So I'm personally going to use she pronouns because of exactly what he's saying. But again, this doesn't really address what my point is. That, yeah, Blair is a good person who happens to be trans. Just like, there can be atheists who happen to be good people. But you don't want a bunch of people who don't believe in the religion to be part of the congregation, because then that waters down what the congregation is. If you have 100 people who all believe in Jesus Christ, you have 100 people who all believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, and then you bring in 500 people who just like being there but don't believe any of this stuff, then how does that not weaken what we're talking about? With whose last post? I just read like 6 posts. So what are we talking about? So actually, let's I think this is so let's save this conversation for the after party, because I really want to know what you guys think about this. I just do not understand how continuing to widen the definition of any word continues to or doesn't continue to water down the meaning of the word. Okay, but again, what about again? I said I was just using Blair as an example because she had the tweet. So let's not even Blair is the anomaly, just like I'm the anomaly. Usually the atheist is going to be the leftist. Usually the trans is going to be a woke whatever. So again, I go back to the main question. If 10 other random trans people decided they were going to start hanging out at your church, eventually they're going to want to be included. No? Are we denying that? Anybody? All right, then I guess I will talk to you guys about it in the after party. Let's shout out our sponsors. Shout out to Unwanted Fool with the $2 super shout. Out-sponsored him damn self. And then, of course, our boy, Tech, sponsor of the stream. Let's also call out our comments of the night. Zippy the Stream, Cement That Never Sets is Called Mud, and Eric Matos. The reason religion and trans ideology is the same is because they both assume the soul exists. It is a religious belief. Well said. Well said. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate everything that we're doing here. The ability to explore these things. I would love. I'm getting better at taking smaller pieces of things and bring them together instead of having to just cover one conversation. But it's a lot harder than it looks. So let me know in the comments afterwards. That helps boost boost it in the algorithm. But let me know in the comments afterwards, what did you think about this type of show versus just taking on either a series of clips from one conversation or just one conversation or any kind of that kind of stuff. Thank you so very, very much. Once again, we are headed right to the after party, guys. It is free to join the Discord. Even if you're not in the after party, we're still going to be hanging out and talking. You'll still be able to be part of the conversation. But if you want to be on screen, not stuck behind your keyboard, on screen with me and everybody else, you got to join as a member. It only starts at $2.99 a month, guys, and I promise you it is worth it. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me once again. This is Morty, and I have been your host, Lech, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.